Lesson 8.4, Fraction and Whole Number Division. In today's lesson, we're going to discuss how we can divide fractions by solving a related multiplication sentence. Let's go ahead and get started. We've been working on how to solve division problems using a model, but today we're going to use an actual equation to help us solve. The word problem I have is in front of me. 3 friends share a 1/4 pound block of fudge equally. What fraction of a pound of fudge does each friend get? So when I'm looking at this particular word problem, I see that I have 3 friends and they want to share a 1/4 block of fudge equally. So right here tells me that I have to set up a division problem. I'm always going to take the amount of the product or the thing that I have. So in this case, I have 1/4 pound block, and so I need to divide that with 3 friends. When we're dividing fractions or whole numbers and fractions, I need to remember keep, change, flip. I'm going to keep the fraction that I have listed. I'm going to change my division sign into a multiplication sign. And I'm going to take my whole number and write it over 1. I'm then going to go ahead and whatever my second number is that I'm dividing by, I'm going to flip it. And we call this the reciprocal. And so my new equation is now going to be 1/4 times 1/3. I then solve just like I would when I multiply fractions. 1 times 1 is 1, 4 times 3 is 12. And so my answer would be 1/12 pounds. Let's take a look at another type of problem. In this word problem, Brad has 9 pounds of ground turkey to make turkey burgers for a picnic. How many 1/3 pound turkey burgers can he make? So I see he has a total of 9 pounds of ground turkey. He wants to make the burgers to be 1/3 pound. I need to know how many burgers he can make. So again, I'm going to take the product or the item that I want to divide, and that's going to go first. So in this case, it's the 9 pounds of ground turkey. I want to divide that by 1/3. So again, I'm going to keep, change, flip. I'm going to keep the 9, but I'm going to write it over 1. I'm going to change my division into multiplication, and I'm going to flip my second number. So in this case, it would become 3/1. I'm then going to multiply like I would with fractions. 9 times 3 is 27. 1 times 1 is 1. I'm then going to simplify, and so he can make 27 burgers. The other type of problem that you will encounter is when we have to determine which one's going to be greater than. And we did this in our previous lessons when we were multiplying. So in this particular problem, which will have a quotient that is greater than its dividend. Remember, the quotient is the answer, and the dividend is the number that I start with. So I need to solve for each one. So 1/2 times 1/3, because I'm doing keep, change, flip. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 3 is 6. So this particular one is 1/6. Let's solve this one. I'm going to keep, change, flip. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. So this equals 6. In this particular problem, I want to figure out which one is greater than the dividend. And so in this case, 3 is my dividend. And I can see 1/6 is not greater than 3. In this particular problem, 1/2 is my dividend, and I see that 6 is larger than 1/2, and so my final answer would be 3 divided by 1/2 is greater, has a quotient that is greater than the difference. Finally, the last problem you're going to encounter is using a model. And so in this particular example, they've given you a model and you need to create the number sentence. And so I'm taking a look. I see that I have 2 pieces, and those pieces were divided into 1, 2, 3, 4. So they were divided by 1/4. If I go ahead and do the keep, change, flip, I now have a multiplication sentence that relates to my division sentence. And so I would have 8/1, which equals 8. And I know this is correct because I have a total of 8 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What you're going to do now is you're going to get your math notebook and we're going to copy our notes on how to divide fractions. We're going to fold our paper like a hot dog into 2 columns and we're going to trace the center line. Once you have your 2 columns set up, continue to hit play. Alright, step 1, I want to convert whole numbers to fractions or change mixed numbers to improper fractions if that happens to be the case. And the example that we're going to use today is 3 divided by 1/4. Once you have this box completed, continue to hit play. Alright, step 2, I need to find the reciprocal of the divisor, which is our second number. And so what I'm going to do is I have 3, and I've made that over a 1, so it's a fraction. And I want to go ahead and make the reciprocal. And so in this particular case, 1/4 is going to become 4/1. Once you have this copied down, continue to hit play. Alright, so now we're going to have box 3, where I replace my division symbol with a multiplication symbol. Once you have this copied down, continue to hit play. Step 4, multiply the fractions across. And so 3 times 4 equals 12. 1 times 1 equals 1. Once you have this copied down, continue to hit play. Step 5, I need to simplify, if needed, convert to a mixed number or a whole number. So in this case, 12/1 is equivalent to 12 whole pieces. And so my answer would be 12. Once you have this copied down, continue to hit play. Okay, remember, when we are dividing fractions, we want to keep, change, flip. We keep our first fraction, we change the symbol from division to multiplication, and we flip our second fraction. Then we're able to solve. Once you have this copied down, continue to hit play. Okay, we have a multi-step problem for our test prep question, and what I want you to do is copy it down, and I should see your key information highlighted or circled. What you're going to do is then solve for each of the mammals. We have the 3-toed sloth and we have the giant tortoise. And then you're going to find your answer as to what, if you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. Once you've solved, your work should be shown. You're going to go ahead and continue to hit play. Okay, finally, how can you divide fractions by solving a related multiplication sentence? Remember, a related multiplication sentence we're using is keep, change, flip. I should see a 2 to 3 sentence summary on how you go about solving fractions when it comes to dividing. I look forward to discussing this with you in class.